looked at the deck, I ended up going X3 with at West Allis. I ended up losing to three different dragon decks, one being Heretics, one being Dragoonity Rulers, or Heretic Rulers, Dragoonity Rulers, and Dragons. The Heretic player I lost to is Paul Cooper, so I mean, I can't really be too upset about that. He is the best Heretic player basically out there. So I'll show you guys the deck. I ended up playing Fire Ferret Control, I guess is what I've been calling it, or Ferret, or Fire Ferret Fist, or Fire Ferrets, whatever people have been calling it. I don't know. I had a lot of different names while I was playing the deck. I basically called it Teamless for Fire Stun because I played the Fire King engine without actually running the Fire King monsters. So yeah, we'll get the deck line up, and then here we go. Alright, so first off, we have three Fencing Fire Ferrets. Fencing Fire Ferret was like the main part of the deck. It really helped me control games. I could control how many monsters I had on board with that. I put my hand on board with that a lot of the time, and force people to play around it basically. Then I had three Fire Fist Bears. Bear was my other control card. It was definitely one of the best cards. Obviously, like one of the reasons the deck won was these cards. Like this is my main monster lineup here. Basically played around those. Along with that, I had Blaster and Dolphax to help me make boss monsters. This is my advantage, and these help me draw power plays a lot of the time. So I'm not really explaining much more. Dolphax was my tuner. I played him over board because it allowed me to go into Strap Dragon and Stardust Dragon when I needed it. And since I was playing Fiendish Chains, I knew I'd have dead spells and traps a lot of the time, so I wanted to make sure I could go into Strap when I needed it. One Bottomless, one Torrential, one Control, one Warning, and one Golden Apples. So with a low monster lineup of only 10 monsters, I wanted to have a trap that would give me a little bit more monsters and also have a decent effect. Golden Apples was definitely one of those cards because it allowed me to take some hits. It allowed me to, if I had an open board, and the killer monsters, it allowed me to gain that life point back and put a decent shot token on the board. So it was really nice to have that in there. Then we had Double Call, Double Horn of the Phantom Beast. These are traps, like, these were kind of more situational traps. Like, Call was really nice. I really didn't get enough on the day. Like, if I had gotten this card more, I probably would have won more matches, but, like, I really was not seeing. I saw it, like, a couple of games, but every game I basically saw this card, I won. Because this card is amazing. I would have played 3 if I would have thought about it more. Like, this basically won me so many games. It was dead if I didn't draw any monsters. That was my worry with it. But, like, I guess I have enough search in the deck where it doesn't matter because, like, even if people had ended up MSTing this, I'd call a Fire Ferret back and pop their card. It helped me push for damage in the battle phase too, which is really nice. Then I have my battle phase traps, the Prismarine Force, obviously like staples, and then the triple Fiendish Chain. I mean, really, in reality, yeah, you have to run that right now, especially if you're playing a slower deck. Then for spells, I played Book of Moon, Dark Hole, Staples, Double Lance, Double MST. This was back row, Protection, and Hate. Circle of Fire Kings, and Double Onslaught of Fire Kings. So with Circle, Circle allowed me to make bigger pushes with the deck, and then Onslaught allowed me to special summon monsters from my deck. It was really like it allowed me to make sure I had a monster engraver on board to set up for plays with. If nothing else, I'd either go Onslaught, hit them. If they had a hand trap, I'd pop it with Fencing Fire Ferret. So it allowed me to set up. It also allowed me to make quicker exceeds early on in the game. Because I really didn't have a good exceed engine, if you notice. Like I'd make 4s with Wolfbark, but that's about it. Then I had Double Fire Formation Tanky. I wish I had run 3. This deck would be a lot more consistent if I could. And then Double Duality. Duality is just consistency, basically. I didn't do a lot of special summoning, so it wasn't bad, but I didn't want to have 3 because there was times where I needed the special summon to win games, and if I had drawn Duality, I probably would have lost. The 1 MST, I needed it decided versus the Dragon matchup because I always decided in Decrees versus me. Double King Tiger, or they decided to Decrees in Steel Drain. Steel Drain's not too bad, but it does hurt a little bit. 2 King Tiger. Tiger is a really good card. It works well against, like, I set it in versus Heretics and Dragon Rulers generally. And Dragoonities, like, it really stops a lot of what they're doing and forces them to play around him. And when I have back row, that's not really a big deal to me. And then double Tiger King and double Calibrator. Calibrator is amazing versus I brought in versus Constellars and Heretics. Or I guess for playing a really, really exceed heavy variant of Dragon Rulers, like they're playing the Tether Wolf and stuff. He's okay to bring in, but like those 2 decks, it really hurt. It hurts Evil Storms too. Like all the exceed heavy decks, this guy just wrecked, so I had to play him because he did sort of, I believe every exceed in game basically, outside of like maybe Excalibur. There's not really many exceeds that he doesn't like at least crash with. I believe like Crazy Botch is one of the few that he doesn't get over. Crazy Botch and Acid. And I think a plus Leviathan he doesn't kill either, but outside of that he just beats about everything else. Then we have Trapstone, Double Mirror of Oaths. Trapstone was for like any trap heavy decks. Like I ended up going against TG Stun and Fire Fist, and these were definitely put in versus those. Double Mirror of Oaths. This was for ninjas. I felt like I might play one of those decks. I knew like the Mist Valley Ninja was getting pretty popular there, so I decided to put the Double Mirror of Oaths in. Ninjas, Mermills, Harpies, and Heretics. This card's amazing versus because it stops them from going into their deck at all. And maybe Downer but Downer and Tour Guides, but I didn't think I'd see either of those too much. DNA Surgery, Spellbooks, and Boojins. Like, DNA Surgery really fucks up Spellbooks. Like, if they don't have a Wisdom in hand and you're able to DNA Surgery them, their monsters are, their entire, like, play is fucked up. They really can't do much about it. And Boojins, like, they can't Crane or anything, which is one of the reasons I ended up beating Boojins, because he had double Crane in his hand, I flipped that up, and he just couldn't do anything about it. And then he also had a one set, so I was just set for that. Double Imperial Iron Wall. Imperial Iron Wall lets me stop any banished decks, which are, there's a lot of those around. And if people sided macros versus me, which I figured some decks might, I've always put these in. Then your Shibboleth Gozen matchup. Gozen match is basically the main reason I was beating Dragons is because I put these in. I put these in Imperial Iron Wall, and they really could just say, GG, you guys got me. Like, outside of being able to maybe blast it or pop it or hope they did for an MST, I had it. The Dread Unity guy who beat me, I ended up flipping this on him. He actually did, because he had triple card reconnaissance and a Sacred Sword on his turn. He actually did completely through his entire deck to pull an MST out. Or no, he pulled a blaster out, then he MST the other goes, and I flipped. I was like, wow. Like, he told me he was just digging for it. That's the only reason he won. Outside of that, he was really locked on his board because he ended up putting out. He ended up putting something weak on board, and I was able to just doze and lock him. But yeah, so I did pretty good on the day X3. I beat TG Stun, Fire Fist, 2 Dragon Rulers, 2 of the 5 Dragon decks I played. TG Stun, Fire Fist, 3/4 Axis. Like, it was a pretty good deck. 3/4 Axis, TG Stun, double Dragon Rulers. Fuck, what else did I beat? I beat the Stellars and Boojins, I believe. Those were all the decks I beat, because I went 6-3. Crimson Blader, Strap Dragon, Stardust Dragon, and Star Eater. I feel like if I had gone to a different event, I would have done the same. But that's my main synchro engine right there. I mean, Star Eater was with Blaster. I wanted like to have the Scrap and the Stardust under Steel Drain, that stuff. Direwolf, Cardinal. I mean, like these, and then I don't have a level chain in here right now. The main reason I don't have a level chain in here is because I sold it off. Like, I was running 1, and it was like the best card in deck. Because the only Azita I made them like every time, like almost every match I made 1 level chain. Because it allowed me to put my Blaster in graveyard, and it was really nice. Cardinal I made when I could. Tiger King, Gemite Pearl, Maestro, Gaga Cowboy, Utopia Race, System Motion of Discord. I didn't make like these like at all. These were barely made. Like, this was made under Steel Drain one time, and this was made once when I used it. So that's the full deck though. I did pretty well with it. I think I could have done better if I had changed this out a little bit. Thanks for watching though. I'll see you guys later.